Hello and welcome, it's Kane here again, and today I want to go through one of my favorite aspects of the game, and that is the land doctrines. It's something that I think pretty much most of these are viable for particular countries, and that's pretty unique in Hearts of Iron, where I think there's definitely most aspects of the game a right and wrong way of doing it. With the doctrines, generally many of these are viable and they all have kind of their niche. So we'll start with my favorite land doctrine, and that's mobile warfare. This is the doctrine that obviously Germany should always go down, and I think the Soviet Union should almost always go down as well. Very strong, and other countries can choose to go down as well. It's the most effective for tanks, and that's because you get such a huge breakthrough bonus. So from the first one, from Armored Spearhead, another 20%, and finally from Modern Blitzkrieg. Very strong. So 60% extra breakthrough is just so powerful. So anyone choosing to focus on tank divisions should always go down mobile warfare. And you should always go down the right side. So Blitzkrieg and Modern Blitzkrieg, not mobile infantry and not desperate defense. So often you see in the guides, they tell you to go down mobile infantry. This is rubbish because your proper tank division, something say like a 15-5, and they're going to have 5 motorized. You're not going to get the organization bonuses you would get from these. So. And as always, the breakthrough on your tanks is so much stronger. As for desperate defense, giving you extra manpower, yeah, no, it's not worth it. Frankly, if you're Germany, you don't have any manpower problems. If you're a minor nation and you're going down mobile warfare doctrine, you're going to, say, have 4 or 5 really good tank divisions. You're not going to have any manpower problems even as a minor nation. Just increase your manpower law. So yeah, Modern Blitzkrieg, so much stronger and great. It's a great doctrine. All right, the other major one, superior firepower, possibly the most popular doctrine. You see pretty much the United States go down this every game. It's very strong, so it's all about having more power, more soft attack, just stacking the soft attack. It's very strong. So I guess the question is whether you go dispersed support or integrated support. Unequivocally, I suggest you go down integrated support. The support company's bonus here for integrated is so strong, 25% soft attack, massive. Just particularly if you've got artillery, support artillery, and say support rocket artillery, that's super powerful, and even adding on engineers, all that kind of stuff. So for a typical 14-4 template, integrated is better. I suppose if you're, say, getting 6 or 8 retarded numbers of dispersed artillery, then at some point dispersed becomes better. But as we've previously discussed, those templates are ineffective. So the next big question is whether you go down air, land, and battle, or shock and awe. So shock and awe does seem on the surface to be more powerful. So just a soft attack army bonus of 5%, and a final one, yeah, soft attack 10%, hard attack 10% on the army. So that seems really strong, and it is. And you see a lot of people go down here. But the big one for air, land, and battle is the final one. Air superiority plus 20%. That's huge. It's so strong, and that makes that left side actually viable. And you've also got the tanks and armor variants, 10% for soft and hard, which means, say, for UK and you're transitioning to tanks for D-Day, that's very strong as well, quite good. But yeah, both are viable. I generally suggest air, land, and battle. To be honest, I love the air superiority; it's so strong. But either one is fine, to be honest. Now, Grand Battle Plan, possibly the most underutilized doctrine in the game, particularly for Japan. I think Japan should always go down Grand Battle Plan, and that's because Grand Battle Plan not only does it give you extra entrenchment, which is yeah, it's good, it's okay, but really it's because all the max planning you get, right? So here you go, 30%, 20%, planning speed, 10%. So strong. I mean, this is great. You get some reinforced rate as well. So technically, Grand Battle Plan is, at certain points of the game, the most powerful doctrine, bar none. You can stack some huge planning bonuses, right? It's super strong, okay? Obviously, your planning bonus wears off, and then you've got to go static again, and then you've got to replan, and that's kind of, yeah. So it needs the static gameplay. It's not going to game plan. It's not going to be, say, effective in a completely fluid fight. So I guess one other thing, never go down infiltration in Grand Battle Plan. So infiltration is kind of like an oddity because it stretches more fluid, right? So fluid combat, land, night attack, this kind of thing. Makes your makes your divisions better at fighting in a fluid combat, but the whole point of going ground battle plan is to be static, right? It's to exploit planning bonus. So it makes no sense to go down infiltration. If you want a fluid gameplay, you might as well go down superior firepower, mobile warfare, right? There's no point taking infiltration. It's kind of, yeah, it's an oddity. Go down assault. I have seen sometimes Soviet Union players, they go down ground battle plan, they've got kind of massive planning bonus, and they actually attack, you know, when Barbarossa starts, they can actually attack and they push right into Hungary sometimes. But the problem always is because the Russian front is fluid and not static, they run out of their planning bonus and they just get encircled, right? So yeah, bit of an issue there. So the final one I want to talk about, mass assault, and this is, I think, the most overused strategy, particularly by Soviet Union players. They seem to always want this. They always go down deep battle. So the major strengths of deep battle and mass assault is you reduce, where is it, vast defensive. So making the combat width of your division, of your infantry brigades, smaller. This means you can stack huge numbers of infantry. You can basically fill this all up with artillery or infantry and still get to, like, say, 44 combat width. And this means you have some huge defense a huge defense stat on your infantry divisions. The idea behind that is you kind of sometimes defend in depth. So you have a division here, and then when that gets breakthrough, you've got divisions here, right? And the idea is to grind down the German armored offensive, right, with these huge defensive stats. And then you can counterattack with your tanks, right? Now, the problem with this is that tanks still cut through them, right? It takes them a little bit longer, but a strong tank division is still going to cut through this, you know, super defensive infantry division, because tanks beat infantry divisions, okay? So yeah, I can't recommend it at all. And in the end, what ends up happening is the big decisive battle, right, happens, you know, somewhere here or somewhere here or here, right? The big decisive battle happens between Russian tanks and German tanks. And what happens if you've gone down deep battle, mass assault, right, and deep battle is you have 10% extra breakthrough. The German player has 60% extra breakthrough. Soviet tanks lose, the German tanks win, you get instant. So it always confuses me why they go down deep battle and not mobile warfare. I suggest the Soviet player always go down mobile warfare. The other benefit of deep battle is you have these supply graces, so out of supply grace, so you can try and relieve your pockets for longer, and also the supply consumption is reduced by a lot, and that means you don't really get any of these stacking penalties, so you can really stack huge numbers of infantry divisions in the fight. And I mean, that can be strong, but you can imitate the same thing by just adding logistics companies to your infantry divisions and tank divisions anyway to imitate that. It's not going to be as strong, but it helps a little bit. And so this is why I don't think really mass assault has a niche anywhere in the game right now. I don't actually think deep battle is viable at all for anyone, really, to be honest. If you disagree and you've got a good argument, put it in. But yeah, as I said, in the end, you're sacrificing so much breakthrough to go down here for not really much, no gain. It's not a good trade-off at all. It's still really popular. For a while there, mobile warfare came back, and now deep battle seems to be making a comeback. I don't agree with deep battle. It's just not effective versus mobile warfare. All right, so the other tree, mass mobilization, gets the extra manpower, reduces the combat width, again, with the infantry. This is viable and gets you reinforce rate, recovery rate, yeah, so 30%. So this is viable really only for China. The only country I'd suggest to do it is China. You go 10 width infantry divisions, and because of the reduced combat width, you can fit more brigades into your division and still be 10 width. You have that excellent reinforce rate, kind of exploiting that 10 width reinforce rate. And then you kind of just cycle divisions out, and just you try and make it so Japan can never break you. Obviously, the counter for Japan is just sit statically, build up planning bonus, and cross rivers and break you that way. So, but yes, I think China is possibly the only country that goes mass mobilization, and I don't really think anyone should go down deep battle. While there are some, yes nos in the 100% go down blitzkrieg, 0% go down mobile infantry. Integrated is always better than dispersed for the most part, and obviously assault is always better than infiltration. For the most part, these are relatively kind of balanced, right? There's not one that's just straight up better than all the others, which is kind of unique for Hearts of Iron. That's possibly one of the reasons why I enjoy the land doctrine aspect of this game the most. So yeah, please, yeah, if you've got any comments, chuck them in the comment section of this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts. This is possibly, like, this argument between Deep Battle and Mobile Warfare for Soviet Union is possibly one of the biggest disagreements you'll see. People arguing incessantly about this on the forums and whatnot, so feel free to argue here. But I strongly suggest Mobile Warfare is just so much better. Alright, thanks very much for watching, guys. If you'd like to see more, subscribe, maybe even like this video. The next video I think is coming up is a guide on Navy Spain, Naval Spain build, and a couple more post-game analyses, and I'll also have some actual combat footage, actual gameplay footage of me throwing back a D-Day that happened here. It was actually really fun. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for tuning in.